The Walther P22 Gen 2. Let's check it out. The Walther P22 was introduced in 2002, and it has been an extremely popular handgun. I mean, with the Walther ergonomics, very similar to the P99 as far as the grip. But recently, Walther has upgraded the P22 to the more of the PPQ style. You can tell with the molded grip, the way it fits in your hand. I mean, it's definitely more ergonomic. While Walther doesn't say that this is their Gen 2, it's definitely a huge upgrade from the original P22. Now, I've had the P22 for at least 10 years, and it has been a great little shooting gun. Very reliable. Originally, some of the magazines were having some issues, but Walther fixed it. My son Seth was so enamored with this little P22 that this is now his. And I want to thank the guys over at Gunbuyer.com for sending the P22 for this test and evaluation. They are great to deal with. Walther is one of those companies that's not afraid to change existing designs, especially with something that's very popular. And with the P22, the original model, I mean, it has been a very popular firearm and been around again since 2002. So this handgun has really proven itself to be an excellent firearm. Now, originally, they were having some trouble with the magazines. We're going to go ahead and make sure that this gun is loaded. And, you know, the magazines themselves were causing a few issues. They offered new ones, and from then on, I haven't had any problems out of this P22. I mean, it functioned right out of the gate. And, you know, I have heard a few problems with the original, having some feeding issues, but I typically just shoot CCI mini mags, and it seems to really function as long as the gun is in good order. With the new P22, you can see that it does have just more of that PPQ compared to the P99 design of the original P22. Now, Walther did not designate this as a Gen 2, but it is, you know, an upgraded version. And so really mechanically though, everything's pretty much the same. There are a few changes, we'll look at those in a minute, but mainly the grip, which has the standard, you know, dots and, you know, just some cross patterns here, to more of a textured design like your PPQ. And also, it did retain the finger groove, and the magazines are actually interchangeable. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the magazine, check this one, and it is unloaded as well. Now, one big difference between this and its bigger brother is that it's hammer fired. And so it does have a blowback action, which means that when the round is fired, the gases actually bring the slide back, force the slide into the rear position, but it has a fixed barrel. So it's going to be inherently more accurate. Now, one thing you'll notice is we have safeties, and they're ambidextrous on either side, which is the same for the original. But they did start adding a red dot to know that it's on fire or safe. And to be honest with you, it's one of the things that this pistol, you know, a lot of times I wouldn't really realize it, and I didn't know which was fire and safe. But when you bring it to the safe position, you'll notice there's a hammer block. And then with the new P22, same thing, we have the hammer block. Now they do make the P22 QD, which is with a decocker. This one is not with the decocker. So if I have my hammer back and I drop my safety, it just is like cocked and locked. And then it's open. Now, one of the things about the P22 is they are California compliant. They have certain models, so you can check out that if you're in California. But here we see that really textured grip. It's really nice. Gives you a good feel to your hand. To me, this is much more ergonomic than the original, which was more like the P99. Another thing too is the slide has definitely had some upgrades. Now you can see the front cocking serrations are all the way to the top of the slide. with the original. It's just abbreviated at the front and also at the rear, which gives you full serrations. And it also has a slope, more like the PPQ. And so that's just a few things that are just very different than these two, but otherwise everything is pretty much the same on the exterior, including the paddle design mag release. So I can do that, or I can take my trigger finger and just drop that magazine. Personally, I'm a big fan of this. A lot of people, especially guys that are used to that side magazine release, are not. But this is ambidextrous, both in magazine release and in your safety. Now, Walther not only offers their P22 and 22 rimfire, they also offer a full-size PPQ 22. We've done a review on this a while back, and this is an excellent gun. Now, while I've said that this will make an excellent companion to your PPQ, the PPQ 22 actually is better because it has all the same controls. Everything's pretty much the same as your standard 22, but it is much larger. And a lot of times when guys like to have 22s, they like that small size. This makes it really easy to pack away. And if you have kids or you're teaching new shooters, this makes a great option. But the PPQ in 22 is also an excellent option. In fact, looking at this pistol, you can't really tell that it's different than the PPQ except for the weight, and then right here it says caliber 22 long rifle. But the Walther PPQ 22 also has a 10 round magazine, even though it's larger. Now I'm going to drop the magazine. We're going to look at how easy it is to pull back this slide. It is an aluminum slide with a steel barrel, and there's steel inserts, which just give it longevity. But it definitely is easy, especially for new shooters or people that are inexperienced or with weak hand strength, to be able to bring this back. And so that makes it a lot of fun at the range. Now you will notice there is a magazine disconnect safety, so with the magazine out, there's no action. Drop the magazine and it'll drop the hammer. Now again, with this being rimfire, you don't want to drop the hammer a whole lot. It is double single action. That means we pull the trigger. We're going to check trigger pull weight in a minute. It'll actuate the hammer. In single action, it's actually a lot smoother. And here a closer look at single action. It's just right here, a little take up, and then some resistance and a nice crisp break. With the double action, it's a heavier, longer pull, but it's very smooth. But it doesn't break until it gets right back here to the end. Now checking reset, right there. We're going to check trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. Double action. There we go. 9 pounds, 9.2 ounces. 9 pounds, 9.8 ounces. And so we're getting just about 9.5 pound trigger pull. With single action, 3 pounds, 8.7 ounces. 3 pounds, 13.7 ounces. 3 pounds, 13 ounces, so just under 4 pound trigger pull on single action. Now we have adjustable sights on the rear, and we have an interchangeable sight on the front. Now we have 3 different total sight options for the front sight with different heights, and then we just have a flat base that can go in the front. And so that gives you a lot of ability to be able to change your elevation with your front sight, and then you have the windage here on the back sight. With the hammer, it's very easy to bring back because of the serrations. And again, I don't really like dropping that hammer a lot, but of course, obviously, when we do the trigger pull weight, we'll have to. The safeties right here, it's down for safe, up to fire. And again, there is a red dot to let you know that it is in the firing position. We have our slide release or slide stop right here. It's a very positive slide stop, but it's minimal, very similar to a Glock. Your takedown levers are right here. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And we have 3 sections for the Picatinny rail. With the original, we only had 1. And there are a couple of extra serrations on the front trigger guard, but they're both square. Another feature with the back strap is that it is interchangeable, and it comes with an extra back strap, a little larger than the one that comes with your pistol. The magazine has a little finger rest on the bottom. They are stainless steel, and they have a small little assist button here to be able to reload really easily, or load. My original P22 was a blue coating, but these mags are interchangeable in either pistol, and we tried them with both, and they worked fine. And it does come with 2 stainless steel magazines.
Now 22 obviously is excellent for adding a suppressor, and we do have a threaded barrel, and it does come with a small little wrench, and you can take this off, put an adapter on it, and you're good to go with the suppressor. And weight on the P22, 17 ounces. Weight on the PPQ 22, 22.6 ounces. Weight on the original P22, 16 ounces. I want to thank CCI for sponsoring the ammunition. CCI just always works fantastic.
Now, taking the P22 out to the range is just a lot of fun. 22 is really low recoil, low report. The ammunition's cheap. I highly recommend you guys having a 22 long rifle pistol. If you have a Walther PPQ, this is just really a no-brainer. It's just a miniaturized version of the PPQ, except that it's hammer fired over your striker fire, but it has that same ergonomic feel to it and the same look. And so it just makes a great trainer. Very smooth to shoot, very reliable, the accuracy's good. It's just a great gun. It's Walther quality. This to me is the perfect gun to take new shooters out. Again, the low recoil and all the things about 22, plus the slide coming back is just so easy. It makes it very simple to manipulate. And then of course the hammer and the safeties and the controls really allows you to be able to have those teaching moments.
Now, disassembly of the P22 is pretty simple. We're going to drop our magazine, go ahead and check, make sure the gun is unloaded. Takedown tabs are right here on either side. You just take and pull those down. Then we take our slide and we bring it back and then up, just like that. And again, you have that fixed barrel, and that's part of the reason why it needs to be broken down like that. Now, one of the big differences with the new P22 is it has a guide rod that has a captive spring, and it's a little bit lighter weight, and so it just allows for more reliable functioning. With the original P22, it was just a guide rod with a recoil spring that was actually heavier than the new P22 recoil spring. Here we have the fixed barrel design, which is typical for blowbacks, and you can see your hammer fired mechanism in the back, and it's just a solid made Walther quality handgun. Slide is very lightweight, being aluminum, but it does have a steel insert just to help for longevity. And guys, that's all you need to do to field strip. For reassembly, take your guide rod, and there's a small little cavity right under the barrel. Just slides and fits right there. Then bring your slide over and make sure that that guide rod kind of lines up with your slide. Bring it back and up, and then lower it. Bring it down, and then take your takedown levers and just push them forward. Insert your magazine. And we're good to go. And one of the great things about the Walther P22 is the price. These run, I saw them as low as around $260 according to certain models on Gunbuyer.com website. And you can look, you can actually get the target barrel to insert in your standard P22 if you want to add that as an addition. And then the thread adapters ran anywhere from like $16.99 up to about 28 bucks. And so it's a really inexpensive firearm to get into. And guys, if you don't have a 22, these are a lot of fun. They're great for, just going out and plinking. They're also great for hunting, for that matter, or a good pack gun. And it's just great for training.
And I want to thank the guys over at Gunbuyer.com for sending the P22 for this test and evaluation. They are great to deal with. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.
Then we're going to check trigger pull weight with our, we're going to check.
It just really allows you to be able to have those